So, homeschooling is probably the worst thing you could ever do to your kids. I mean, you know, if you're like abusing your kids, whooping them, starving them, or whatever, and they still, as long as you still send them to public school, they still kind of have a chance. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because school kind of dictates how your life's gonna go. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you're popular in school, people like you, if you're good looking, it does kind of dictate. Obviously, there's some people who fuck up, but like that, honestly, it's way more rare than people lead on, right? It's mostly just a cope. Oh, this guy peaked in high school, yada, yada. They're probably just talking about one guy, one single dude who just was like cool in high school. And maybe he wasn't even that good looking, but maybe he was good at sports. But either way, like, school just teaches you kind of how to, live, pretty much. That's where you're going to have your first crush. I know it's so corny. Like, it sounds so stupid to regular people. It's like, oh, first crush, first girlfriend, first sports team, first school trip. But, like, to somebody like me, and my brothers, is like, that's like, it's so foreign, but it's so important though. It really is, because like, we've just been homeschooled. I've been homeschooled my whole life, ever since I was like 8, 7 or whatever, when we kind of started. And it's just like, it wasn't for any particular reason. It's not like I wasn't like retarded, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't mentally challenged. Like, my brothers were not mentally challenged. None of us. I just think before look, I think school costs money. I think public school costs money. And my family was extremely poor, so it's better to just, homeschool or whatever. But, yeah, man, it's just, there's a lot of things that you just don't learn. You know what I'm saying? It's like, to me, all this stuff is so new. Like, I'm 22, and it's, I don't know, it's like everything's so new. I'm 22, I'm acting like I'm freaking 12, basically. It's like everything's so new, everything's so foreign. It's like, I'm just not used to people gossiping so much and talking about each other, and just how social like, I don't know what it's called, like, social things work. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm just constantly pretending that I do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you're constantly just trying to fit in and act normal. You're constantly trying to act normal, and as soon as something happens, then it's just weird and it's awkward or something. It's really fucked. To be honest, it's really fucked. Like, homeschooling is just, dude, unless you're rich, like, like Elon Musk homeschooling his kids, bro, nothing wrong with that. I mean, you can do it. I feel like you should still send your kids to school just so that they can learn how to, fucking deal with people, right? Who aren't their mommy and daddy, right? But at the end of the day, if you're rich, you can do whatever you want, pretty much. But when you're poor, dude, it just doesn't make sense to homeschool your kids, because you can't afford it. I know some people, like I said, they have money. They're sending their kids to camps. They're sending their kids here, there, this, doing that. But me, like, there was none of that. There was no homeschool groups. There was no activities. There was nothing. Like, it's literally just being at home for most of your life, getting in trouble, procrastinating in school. Like, you don't have the presence of a classroom. You don't really have a reason to perform well. If you're just, you just have a Saxon math book and you're just like doing math, and you're just like laying in your bed or some shit, it's kind of hard to be motivated. Like, you're literally like 11 years old, right? So it's kind of hard to be on your Andrew Tate shit and just, be motivated before, it's just weird, bro. But yeah, I just like I can't even begin to comprehend most other people, because we just had such, like, kids my age, or not kids, grown motherfuckers my age. It's like our lives were just so different. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's too different. Like, I can't even slightly relate to your average 20-year-old, 22-year-old, 25, 18. Like, I can't even slightly relate to anyone my own age. And I can relate to them on different topics, like, like sports, anime, stuff like that, video games. But people's life kind of revolves around school. Like, people around my age are fresh out of school, or they're in university. You know what I'm saying? It's like their life is kind of centered around school, and it's not like it's just, your school isn't just your nose in your book all the time. It's socializing. It's eating at the lunch table. It's going to college. It's building bonds and relationships and talking to professors. It's just so much stuff. It's so much stuff that it just really represents society. And I'm not somebody who's like ride or die society. Like, I'm not gonna fight for this country, ever. But hope I never have to. But yeah. But it's like, if you're gonna live in this society, man, you have to operate. Like, you kind of have to live by society's rules. And if you didn't go to public school, you're kind of just fucked, man, because it's just like, you don't know how anything works. Like, you don't know how anything operates. You're like, it's just crazy, dude. It's just, I can't even explain to you guys, because it's like, how could you even understand? Like, if you went to public school, if you went to actual school your whole life, how can you possibly understand somebody? I can't blame people. How could you understand somebody who literally never did that? Like, never. It's just a completely different life. It's just so different, bro. So, yeah, just homeschooling. Like, I like, where do you even start? Like, there's so many ways that you could start. So many things you could complain about when it comes to homeschooling, and just not even just homeschooling as a whole, but just kind of bad homeschooling. There's so many things I could say. I mean, just ask questions. Like, any questions you can ask. But it's just, like, it's just so many things wrong. To me, it's kind of normal, right? Because I never went to public school. Like, there was one time I did. I was like 8 years old. I was only there for like 2 weeks. For some reason, she didn't keep me in. I really liked it. Like, it was so, because back then I was really lonely. Like, I was a kid. I was extremely lonely. I was like extremely, like, I just wanted friends. Like, that's all I ever wanted. And, yeah, I did really good. I was actually smart, kind of, all that, but I did really good. I was making friends, and then it, like, pulled me out of it. So, yeah, I have to go right now. So, bye.